Here is your full, long, emotional story written exactly in the style you use for your viral YouTube videos, with a hook beginning, smooth pacing for a 40-minute narration, emotional depth, and a powerful, inspiring ending. Plain paragraphs, no headings, no breaks, pure story. Story. Who would have thought that a simple tattoo on a janitor's arm could stop a Navy Admiral cold in her tracks, in front of thousands of people on graduation day? If you're watching this, trust me, you'll want to stay until the end. And hey, before the story begins, make sure to like this video and subscribe, because the story you're about to hear will remind you that heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes, they just hold a mop in one hand and their child's dreams in the other. It began on a warm morning at Riverside High, where families poured into the stadium, holding flowers, balloons, and signs with their children's names on them. But walking quietly along the outer fence line was Ethan Cole, a single dad janitor, wearing the same faded work boots he used every day. He wasn't here as staff today. He wasn't sweeping floors or cleaning bathrooms. He was here for one reason: his son, Tyler. Tyler Cole, the first in their family to graduate high school, the boy Ethan had raised since he was 2, the child he'd worked double shifts for, skipped meals for, fought life for. Today was supposed to be simple: find a seat far in the back, watch Tyler walk across the stage, clap silently, and slip away before anyone noticed he didn't belong among the parents in suits and polished shoes. But life doesn't always let you stay invisible. Ethan scanned the seats and found a spot behind a pillar where no one would bump into him. He sat down, hiding his calloused hands and the tattoo on his left forearm, a tattoo he hadn't shown in years. It wasn't just ink. It was a memory, a scar, a promise, a story he never wanted to relive. Across the stadium, Navy Admiral Olivia Hart walked toward the stage with her security detail. One of the most respected officers in the country, known for her strict discipline and ice-cold composure, she was today's keynote speaker. But what no one knew was that she wasn't here for the ceremony alone. She was looking for someone. Someone she had failed. Someone she had never stopped searching for. The ceremony began with cheers, music, and proud parents wiping tears. Ethan watched Tyler in the row of blue gowns, smiling with friends, unaware that his dad was sitting alone behind a concrete column. Ethan didn't care. This was enough. Seeing Tyler happy was enough. But when the principal announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Admiral Olivia Hart," everyone stood and clapped. Everyone except Ethan, who froze. Because the moment the Admiral stepped up to the podium, her eyes scanned the crowd, and landed on a tattoo she thought she'd never see again. A black falcon with outstretched wings. Her breath caught. Her fingers trembled. She knew that symbol. She knew that man, Ethan Cole, was alive. The speech she had prepared vanished from her mind. She stood there, staring, trying to be sure she wasn't imagining things. Because that tattoo belonged to a man who had once saved her entire unit during a covert Navy rescue mission, then disappeared after the blast that nearly cost him his life. The military had listed him as missing, presumed dead. She had lived with that guilt for years. And now here he was, in a janitor's uniform, sitting alone. Suddenly her voice cracked in the microphone, the first time in her career, and the audience turned, confused. She tried to compose herself and continued speaking, but her eyes kept drifting to the man who once pulled her from burning wreckage. Ethan shifted, uncomfortably. He had hoped no one would notice him, especially not anyone from his past. He wasn't ready for that world to collide with the quiet life he had built for his son. But fate doesn't ask for permission. After the speech, while students prepared to walk the stage, Admiral Hart stepped down and whispered to her aide, "Find that man. Now." Ethan noticed security approaching, and his heart pounded. His instinct was to run, but he stayed for Tyler. He wouldn't ruin his son's day. Not again. "Sir," the guard said. "The Admiral would like a word." Ethan lowered his head. "I'm not who she thinks I am. I'm just here to watch my boy graduate." But before the guard could respond, Admiral Hart herself appeared. The stadium noise faded as she looked at him, not as an officer, but as someone who owed him her life. "Ethan," she whispered. He didn't answer. "It's really you, isn't it?" He finally looked up, guilt and exhaustion in his eyes. "Admiral, please. I'm just a janitor now. I'm nobody." She shook her head, tears forming. "You're the reason I'm alive." People around them began whispering, wondering why a high-ranking admiral was standing with a janitor. But she didn't care. She reached for his arm, tracing the tattoo lightly. "You never told me what it meant," she said softly. Ethan swallowed hard. "It's a falcon, because they carry their young on their backs. No matter how high the fall." Her eyes softened. "Is that what you've been doing all these years? Carrying someone?" He nodded toward Tyler across the field. "My son. He's all I have." Before she could speak further, the announcer's voice boomed. "Tyler Cole.